This video will show you a device which is used for compressing paper products into usable alternative energy bricks biscuits. This looks very similar to some others on YouTube, but it has some updates and changes I made to customize it for me. These biscuits can be used in small wood stoves and alternative heating devices to enhance or replace wood. The paper products can be entirely free depending on your situation. It will also show you the machine in operation and give specific instructions on how to use it. Complete construction information is also available at a link under the video. Here are 4 pictures showing the overall setup: the press, the water catch tray, the water drain tube, the water catch bucket, and the slurry bucket. Load the bucket up with paper products. Tear up the big pieces and pack it in reasonably tight. You can always add more anytime. Fill the bucket with water, but not to the top. You can always add more water later as needed. Here is a picture of the blade. It can be very dangerous. Start to chop up the paper. It starts out a little rough, but eventually the paper starts to mulch. It is best to let it soak for a couple of hours first before chopping. Eventually, it will turn to mush. You will find the plastic pieces from windowed envelopes often. Pull them out as much as possible. It doesn't hurt to have some remain. Make sure it is mulched well. As you empty the bucket, you may find you have some large pieces at the bottom that still need more chopping. Now it's time to start pressing the mulch into biscuits. Take the bottom plug, I know it says top, and insert it into the end of the cylinder where the drilled water escape holes are closest to the end. It should not be too tight, but not so loose that it falls out by itself. Fill the cylinder to the top with the slurry. Place the loose extraction pedestal piece in place opposite the other pedestal piece to form the full extraction pedestal for the cylinder. Place the cylinder in the low pressure end of this machine. Place the plunger plug in the top of the cylinder and place the plunger extender as shown. Here is a long view of the press in use. Note positions of the control lever. Pull with steady, continuous force. It takes some time. Don't try to force it too quickly. Watch the right side of the video as board C slowly moves down. When you have pressed it some distance, the cylinder and plunger will fit under the high pressure end of the press. You will learn how far to pull with a little practice. Again, pull slowly with steady pressure until the pull lever is down almost all the way. This position will vary with the amount of water, slurry, etc. You will get a feel for it. Place the cylinder and plunger on the extract pedestal. Be sure it is reasonably centered. Pull, and out it comes, compressed but still damp. And there is the almost finished compressed biscuit. It is still wet and will require several days to dry. They take a few days to dry depending on the environmental conditions. Don't pay for energy to dry them because that defeats the purpose of making them. I have a dehumidifier running in the basement anyway, so I use the blowing air from the unit to help dry them. Some would argue that the extra moisture from the biscuits makes the dehumidifier work harder. Maybe a little, but that's how I dry them. On top are the dried, stored biscuits. Here is a close-up of a finished dried biscuit ready for burning. It weighs about 1/5 of the wet version. And finally, a proper picture of a stack of finished dried biscuits. You can find complete construction information available by going to the link under this video.